This is it. This is the battle that will crown us the King of Frontier once and for all. The hardest battle in Frontier is the elite version of Diamondback, which is the latest boss in this update, only available in the DLC. If you saw my previous episode of it, that was a normal version. If you didn't check it out, then make sure to check that out too, along with a full playlist. But just for those who are unaware of how Frontier works, just if you happen to stumble upon this, then essentially you have Sheriff, your main hero, along with 6 other towers you can bring and upgrade to battle this boss and beat it. Which, by the way, I'm not ready to beat it now, but in case you're curious, 8.5 million HP. Using only 6 towers, by the way. This DLC is basically about accruing Bananite, which is a currency you can use to permanently upgrade towers, and that's how you eventually become strong enough to take down Diamondback. Just to give you a point of reference, I want to show you how we are against a normal elite boss in this game mode. So, Elite Lich here is the weakest of the 6 bosses in the world, and it's got 2.4 million HP. It's the first elite boss I ended up completing, and I just want to show you now with all of our newfound progress. Simply put, how much easier it is to beat an elite boss first before I take on the toughest one. Besides, I'm pretty sure we still need to farm some permanent currency / bananite, so playing this will give us a decent amount. It's probably the best way to farm for more upgrades. Anyway, we're likely going to end up beating Lich with a good over half of the track to spare. Overall, on fast-forward non-modded mode, this took about 3 minutes, so it's not bad if I want to, or if I need to keep farming a lot of extra currency. 25,000 every 3 or 4 minutes is not that bad, but again, it does get monotonous. All that being said, the 6-tower setup for Elite Diamondback is going to differ from the Lich boss, mostly because you can use buffs now. Diamondback won't suck away any buffs, so we're going to add the Overclock to our party, and we're going to drop Zinger, and add the Alchemist. And now for our first real, true attempt at taking down Diamondback. Middle of the road is obviously much tougher, because the line of sight means I'm probably going to have to move mad a lot of the time. And it's probably in my best interest to not retreat these monkeys, because I actually have enough Bananite, to simply put, start with Ultra Boost immediately. And so this will give permastacks on all these towers, as long as I don't retreat and lose all 10 Ultra Boost stacks. Enough yapping. Let's bring on the 8.5 million, and I also want to try using this without powers. I think for the true final boss, it only makes sense to beat it cleanly. Just for a quick refresher of what Diamondback does, essentially, it has many different parts to its body. So, it's a long boy boss. Every 1% damage is kind of similar to Bloons. It will spawn out fortified Moabs that we popped very quickly into fortified Cerams. Dark Champion should take care of that easily. I'm not sure which one's better to Ultra Boost, the Super Mines or the Mad. I will start Super Mines though, but it looks like Mad is really doing more of the overall damage. Although that might also be because the spikes, half the spikes are going on the right side. Anyway, for more of a refresher, Diamondback's head will block projectiles from piercing through the rest. However, that doesn't seem to matter right now because... Oh, hang on. Am I dead here? A lot of diamond balloons and BFBs leaking. That I think I should have... Oh, no. I should have used my Super Mines as backup. That was a mistake. This is where my Chinook will ideally be very handy. I think once the BFBs spawn out, or when we're close to hitting the skull, just move the Super Mines preemptively, because the Mad already does enough boss damage that I don't really need its help. Okay, but I can't really Chinook it unless I do here. Fine. Now, we'll Ultra Boost this because I am Spook. Sheriff ability now. Wait, let me replace Sheriff. Use the morale boost here. Still dead, right? Yeah, I'm dead. For the record, Diamond Balloons only take 1 damage at a time, and that's why towers like Mad are really bad against it, and apparently, so is Super Mines. This time, I'm just gonna start all the way at the bottom. Just don't make it do any boss damage at all, okay? That is a lot of spikes. But the BFB spawning out deletes so many of them that I think that's why I'm dying. Attack speed now. We're down to the last 2 spikes. I don't think I can do this right now. Skull number 1 is impossible. Wait. Yeah, it's impossible. New plan. Let's add Longshot Annie. I think the heli pilot is just kind of useless. I don't really need the ability to Chinook when retreating also almost basically costs nothing. I also think it's in our best interest to maybe not hit the skull so early, because at the angle that Diamondback was, as you saw, the BFEs that spawned out were eating into the spikes. If we take longer to beat it, then if it spawns a BFB, say, in the top right here, then it'll spawn like this, avoiding hitting these super mines in the process. You'll feel me, and I guess Spirit of the Forest can do decent against Diamond Bloons, although I'm not exactly sure. But being able to tick for Infinite Pierce for all of those Bloons spawning out, I don't know about you, but it sounds like a pretty good idea to me. And you see, yeah, I don't have to... Let me save Mad Ability, too. Save Mad Ability for the Skull. Use attack speed now. And it's still hitting the spikes early because I couldn't avoid it. Oh, well. Just keep it at double damage. This is looking better so far. How much is Spirit of the Forest doing? Honestly, not that much. Do I even need to use Mad Ability at this point, or does this preemptive Sheriff ability just work? Seems like it just works. Alright, Skull number 1 dead. That was easy. As you see, Diamond Boss is still not fully spawned out yet, even though its head has turned 2 bends. I'll try to take my merry time here because I want to beef up my morale. Another attack speed now. But if Elite Diamondback works the same way as normal Diamondback does, then how it works is that apparently every skull seems to spawn less and less and less BFBs and diamonds, which is counterintuitive to, I feel like, a difficulty of a boss. And also, now that it's fully spawned out with its tail and all, I should mention that its tail doesn't deal direct damage to its HP, but it will remove a little bit of its shield, and once the shield is completely depleted, then it will stun Diamondback. I haven't seen this mechanic before, and I'm honestly kind of curious to see how it would work. So let me set it on last and see if I can break the entirety of the shield first. This is a dumb idea, because the shield has so much HP that you're better off just doing normal damage to Diamondback. So much so that, oh my god, I'm even trying to kill this shield directly, yet it's gonna hit the skull first and it's gonna replenish the shield. So I think this is a really dumb, honestly, design decision, you feel me? What's the point of the shield mechanic if you can't even breach through it because it has so much HP and it just heals to full every time? You're better off, again, just attacking it directly. Every time it hits the skull, also removes 1 part of its body, so Diamondback shrinks ever so slightly. So it appears, even though 8.5 million HP looks scary, it's not that bad when you think about it, and I think that's because, like, each part of Diamondback is separate, so if you have 1 mat piercing through all parts of its body, it's not just 650 damage like it is on a normal boss, or 550, it's that times the amount of things it goes to, and that's why each shot is doing so much damage. Granted, I personally believe this is still the hardest boss because we're playing on an easy map. If this was plopped on Flooded Valley, then yeah, there would be some cause for concern here. Another Ultra Boost stack. But feels like we're just gonna straight up win here, especially when a Mad ability can hit multiple of these at a time. And with just a couple stacks in ability, we're already at the next skull before we even finish killing everything else. Whoopsie daisies. Anyway, now is probably a good time as we approach the last 3 million HP, just to talk about my thoughts on Frontier in general, because I haven't really done too much of that. I've just been talking about it, going through the rounds and all the gameplay and whatnot. But let's start with the pros, I guess. The pros being Diamondback. I do like the concept of the boss. I also forgot that because I don't have Heli Pilot, I cannot Chinook the Mad, so I guess we'll take our merry time here, or try to shoot through. Yeah, only 1 of the missile hits, but that's good enough for me for now. I'm a fan of this boss design, though. A unique boss that has several hittable parts, a changing hitbox for every skull you hit. Yeah, those are things I never really thought that could be a cool thing to see in a boss, I suppose. But again, the downside is, 1, they gotta tweak the shield, because I'm literally trying to damage the shield, but it's not letting me. I'm gonna hit a skull first. Number 2, I guess in terms of endgame content in Frontier, I'm pretty sure this is it. Once I've beat Elite Diamond Boss, there's nothing else for me to achieve in this game. This is the hardest battle. Everything else is just playing the same thing I have already beaten, so I honestly, until there's a new update, don't expect any new Frontier content unless I have something really, truly interesting up my sleeve. But at the moment, I can't see myself replaying them again because it's the same thing. There's a lack of replayability, which doesn't inherently make the game mode bad necessarily. But even replayability aside, there's generally really not much to do in the world. Like, new features, that is. I guess this is a kind of a classic Ninja Kiwi thing. They release not just DLCs, but full games that honestly should have had more time to cook in the oven. Same thing happened with Rogue Legends, which is now a pretty good game mode, if you ask me. Same thing with Battles 2, BMC, and even their new non-Bloons game, Fightland. Bet you 90% of those watching have no idea what that even is. But I know, and let me just tell you, yeah, it's kind of falls under the same. Maybe it should have taken a little bit more time to release kind of category. Frontier, I think, could have done with that because I can count on one hand the amount of things you can do deviating outside the story. Side missions, side bosses, fishing, quick time events with Bloons, but that's just a clicking game, reacting game. And Diamondback, although that kind of falls under the same category as a boss. So 4 things. Other than that, you're kind of just walking around aimlessly with nothing much to do other than, well, those 4 things. And as we approach the final skull, I honestly thought Diamondback Elite would have been tougher, as in, maybe you should have spawned out, you know, F-Bads. Because this is the same spawns that a normal Diamondback has, and it's really just the more HP. That's all it has going for it. And also appears we're going to, yet again, unsuccessfully be able to pierce through a shield of Diamondback, so we're never going to see what that does, but I'll just tell you right now, it's just a long stun, that's all. I guess who cares about Ultra Boost stacks also, if it doesn't even damage Diamondback, so we'll move it one last time here. Give it a Fatal Boost, retreat Sheriff so that I can move this over here and give the Supermines a little bit of attack speed. And GG's only. We were already ready to beat Diamondback, I think, as soon as we beat the last of the bosses. I was just spooked because I saw the HP amount and I was like, no way. I need more. But I think even if I didn't have the Ultra Boost, I would have been fine. It didn't make a difference here. I was born ready to kill Diamondback. And that's a GG. Does this provide any more Bananite than the other bosses? No. It's a flat 25k. So, that's it. That's Diamondback. What now? All we can do is replay it with the same stats and the same map. What I haven't shown you yet, and what I haven't even done yet, is go for the biggest fishing rod possible and catch the biggest fish. I'll have a go at it, but I'll let you know that I'm not very good at this. And apparently, like, the higher the fishing rod you go, the harder it is to fish a bigger fish. This is probably the thing that has the most replayability after you beat the main campaign, but if you suck like me, then you'll probably rage quit after 10 seconds. Like, yeah, it's just memorizing patterns, but I think this one's easier to catch. I got it. Let me lock in. Yeah, okay, ceramic eel. That's a new one. Okay, this one's freaking impossible, or I just suck. What the hell, man? People like these fishing minigames? Practice makes perfect, but, bro, I don't even want to practice this. Okay, I got it this time for sure. Oh my god, this took so long. But I finally got the balloon shipper. No wonder it was so hard. It took me like a minute to fish, but I finally got a hold of its pattern, and yeah. Reeled in the good old nostalgic piece of junk. And once again, the only other thing to do are one of these BS encounter minigames. Here is a Moab QT event. 99% chance I am going to die here, because it's too hard, but let's see if I can do it. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, okay. Anyway, if you still like exploring open worlds and whatnot, you know, unlocking more of the Bloons lore, then this game mode may be worth it for you. Ninja Cube will most likely make this much better with several updates. But for now, I think I've just about done everything there is to do in this DLC, so that explains the much shorter than usual runtime on this episode. Thank you for watching once more, and friendly reminder, peek the playlist if you want to see the run-up, the build-up to my eventual posse final build.